Sawubona Mzansi and welcome to this evening's MIH Live. So, we set some goals yesterday and I think we've achieved lots of it. I don't know what was happening today, what was flowing through me, but coding was being done tonight. Coding was being done today. We were flying through the tasks that we wanted to do. So, we'll go through the list in a minute, but yeah, thank you so much for the great suggestions in yesterday's live. I do appreciate each and every one of you for suggesting ideas to improve MIH. So, yeah, let's dive into the few things. So I won't switch screens at the moment. We'll just chat for a bit. And we are now able to download the full QR code, MIH QR code thingy. Katlejo, nice to see you here this evening. We appreciate you. You are able to download now the full QR code, business QR code thing with the banner, with the MIH thingy, and all of those different things is there. There was a little bug in the profile picture kind of thing, and we fixed it. I'll show you what the difference is. It's a very slight difference, but we were able to fix it. The fix came to me a while ago. I just was a little bit lazy in implementing it. Hello, Sir Prince. Nice to see you here this evening. Thank you so much for diving into the chat. What's good? So, yes, we are now able to see the amount of users, both the business and the personal users. So the business and the normal users inside MIH. When you go to the About MIH section, remember this is all still in development at the moment. So, ooh, what's a super fan? Love it. We appreciate you. Whoever's a super fan, we appreciate you. So yeah, we are able to see the amount of users now. So instead of me going to the database and running through everything and seeing what the amount of users are, we are now able to head over to the About MIH package and we are able to see like the count of users and the count of businesses, just so that we can see as we are growing what is everything like. Next thing, we've finally implemented the simplified Chinese version of our privacy policy and also the terms of use. So I was a bit lazy and I don't want to do it for the terms of use document, but I built up the strength in order to do it. So that's sorted also. And I didn't show you this yesterday, but what happened is our toggles, the MIH toggles, this to switch on and off kind of things, it didn't have an elevation to it. So I managed to add some sort of elevation. I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with it, but I'll definitely check what's it all about. So let's dive into the code and let's see what everything is all about. Yo, look at this juicy pimple right here. Look at it. Hectic. But let's switch over and see what we got up to inside MIH. So let me flip this. So you'll just see my screen right now. So this is our task list. And if I switch over for the rest of the people, shout out. Cool. So this is our task list. So you can see that on this side, quite a few things were done. Like I mentioned, the business QR code, you are now able to download the full QR code and not the full image and not just the normal QR code. Then below that, like I said, we fixed the profile picture. Below that, we are now able to see the amount of users inside MIH and the amount of business accounts inside MIH. And you must just help me with the wording, okay? Because what's going to happen is, I hope I'm sounding fine on the other platforms. Let me know in the chat what you think. Testing. Let me know in the chat what you think, all right? So then the amount of users are there. Then I have a simplified Chinese version. So you might be asking the question, why am I having a Chinese privacy policy and terms of use thing? But that's because we want to put our app on the Huawei app gallery. And we also want the application available in mainland China, not just in the rest of the countries. I do want it in China because leaving them out is leaving a huge chunk of the world out of our target audience. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to follow their rules in order to get onto the Huawei app gallery. So you can see over here, there's a few things that still needs to be done. Like I need to add a privacy policy pop-up. And this is also done, but this is the last thing that's remaining. So I have completed that, and I'll give you a demonstration on what that looks like. Then the toggle switch is elevated. So let's dive in and start off with the toggle switch. So we're going to switch over to MIH right now. And let me know if you have any questions about what MIH is, what we are working on today. If you have any questions about your own technologies that you are working on, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. So let me try and increase this. Okay, I think this is fine. Perfect. So you should be able to see everything over here. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's head over. The first thing that I want to show you is our toggles. So this is what our toggles look like. If we edit our profile, you can see at the bottom of the screen, this is a toggle. But this is a bad place to show you, but we've added some elevation to it. Previously it was flat. Let's open up the production version of MIH and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see the toggle at the bottom of the screen. It's very subtle, but there's no elevation to this. So what we have done is we have included an elevation to the button. So it's hard to see on the profile section, but what I will show you is, let's head over to the calculator package and let's go to this one. So you can see there's a slight elevation that is by our toggle also. So now everything has an elevation on it. So if we would like to calculate a tip, what we can do is we can enter some values, we can enter a percentage, and we can click on calculate. And now we'll get our calculation here. And if we'd like to split the bill, we can increase it, click on calculate, and immediately the answers are there for you. Let us know if you have any questions about MIH, about yourself, and we can dive into it. So that was the first thing, sorting out the elevation in our toggles. That's the first thing that was done. Next is our simplified Chinese privacy policy. So let's click on the About MIH package. You'll see already I'm showcasing this, but let's dive over to our privacy policy. So if we click over here, this is our privacy policy, and now we have a huge button. Let me know if the button is fine over here, or should I add this below the logo? I'm thinking I should, let's do it right now. Let's add it below the logo. So if I head over to my privacy policy, so we're currently coding in Flutter. Flutter is our framework that we are using to code our front end. So let's head over to our privacy policy, which is this. And under our body, you can see that here's our button over here. So let me highlight all of this and go all the way down. And okay, escape. I think it should be from. Interesting. I think it's fine. I think it's fine for now. My bad. Thank you so much for the likes. We appreciate you. They're flooding through. Who is this? Penderas. Thank you so much for the likes. We appreciate you. So let's switch over. So this is our privacy policy. It's a very simple read. We're not trying to hide anything from you and cover you with words. It's just a simple read. So then, but in order to get to the Huawei app gallery, we need to have a simplified Chinese version. As you can see, we switch over, simplified Chinese version. And all of it is in Chinese over there. Just like and we can switch back to English. So simplified Chinese, English, simplified Chinese, English. So if in Flutter you are only doing app or providing a web interface also, then service via API. So thank you so much, Penderas, and thank you so much for the 100 likes. So the question from Penderas is, are we only building mobile applications on Flutter, or are we also doing web applications? Sawubona Iki, nice to see you here. So the answer to that question is, we are on the Google Play Store. So MIH is currently available on the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, and also on the web. So you are correct. We are doing a web application, so a progressive web app. So as you can see over there, if you search MIH app, you will see Mzansi Innovation Hub. It should appear at the top of the list. And you can just click on that, and that'll be our web app version. Thank you so much for that question. We do appreciate it. So let's head back over to our application. Thank you so much, Iki, for the 200 likes. We appreciate you. Let's head back over to our applications. Let's minimize this. And so this is our simplified Chinese version of our privacy policy. If I click on the terms of service, once again, you have a simplified Chinese version. If we click on it, it switches over to simplified Chinese. This is in order to get on the Huawei app gallery. That's the only reason why we're doing it. So the next thing that I would like to showcase to you. So remember, guys, this is what we got up to. This is what we were discussing in yesterday's live. So we are live Monday to Thursday from 7 p.m. up until like 7:30, 8:30. So there was a few things that was mentioned by Swazi. Nice to see you here this evening. Yes, Swazi. So I'll tell you. So Swazi is asking the question, did we fix the bug from earlier? So Swazi, let me know if I'm correct in saying this, but last week when we joined the live, we were having a build issue. So a build issue is basically when you try installing the application and running it. So doing Flutter run and then your application, it builds the Android version or the iOS version or the web version. So we were having some Android build issues. And I was having a chat with Gemini Swazi, and Gemini told me, or we were trying so many different things to get it fixed, but Gemini told me that, you know what, there's a persistent issue in the build thing. There might be an issue with my Android folder inside MIH. So let me show you what that looks like. So if we open up our package structure, let's close lib. So let's close this. So you can see under our front end, we do have an Android version, an iOS version, Linux, Mac OS, and a web version, right? So we were having issues in the Android version. So the Android thing is automatically generated by Flutter for you. When you run Flutter build or when you just run Flutter run, it does it for you. So what Gemini told us is, you know what, delete this folder, because it looks like what was happening is you created this Android folder with an old version of Flutter, and the newer version of Flutter is where the issues are coming through. So delete this folder, recreate the folder, and try it out again. So I did create a backup of that folder before I did it, and I had to, it was such a mission. Let me tell you why it was such a mission. So let's go into our app source main manifest file. So the issue over here, or the tedious part of this was we had to add all our permissions back in. So the permissions that we're using for the specific packages, and we had to add our deep linking back in. So you can see here's deep linking. So we had to add our deep linking back in. So it was such issues, and we also had to sort out our build Gradle. But we managed to get it right. I think I told you about the manifest. Definitely. But it was something with the overall package itself. But thank you so much for the help. We do appreciate you. So yeah, that was the issue. And once we did that and we managed to install all of our dependencies and permissions and all of those kind of things, MIH was running fine, even with the new package that was causing issues in the past. So that was the upgrader package, and we managed to fix that. Thank you so much, Luazi, for reminding us. So I see the questions are flooding through this evening. I appreciate each and every one of you. So Penderas, let's see. You say this is for Huawei. The Chinese part is a requirement. Flutter, though, will build targets for iOS and Android, which is Google app and Huawei. So Penderas, yeah, so so basically Huawei, even though they do have Harmony OS right now, they do allow normal APKs or AAB files. So AAB is an Android something bundle, and they do allow you to upload that to cater for their audiences, and in order to get to mainland China. So remember, we can, if I just said no, exclude mainland China, everything would have been fine. But because I said I want to deploy it inside mainland China, I have to have a Chinese terms of service and privacy policy. So I just went with simplified Chinese, and hopefully they'll be happy with that. So how's it? Which IDE? So this is from T. How's it? Which IDE are you using? So I am using VS Code right now. Yeah, it is called VS Code. And I don't know, I'm just using the default of everything. I didn't change much, but I am, if you're thinking that this thing at the top of the screen is different, this is a Flutter thing. So this is a Flutter thing that once you install the Flutter extensions inside VS Code, all of these will come to you. Does anyone use what is this? How do we pronounce this? So let's ask Mzansi AI about this IDE that T is asking us about. So let's open up Mzansi AI. So remember, MIH comes with its own friendly AI assistant called Mzansi AI. So let's ask it the question, please tell me a bit about paste. And let's see what Mzansi AI has to say. A little bit slow this evening. I wonder if it's the first time I'm using it in a minute. But it's a little bit slow. This is not the this is not the performance. Yeah, this is definitely not the performance of Mzansi AI. Definitely not the performance. We'll refresh it. Let me refresh it right now, and we can hook it up from there. But in the meantime, while I'm refreshing it, let's have a listen to Mzansi AI and see what Mzansi AI has to say to us.
Hey there, waving hand. Embarcadero is a really cool initiative focused on empowering small business owners in South Africa. Think of it as a way to help entrepreneurs access financial services and grow their businesses. Essentially, they provide a digital platform that connects small businesses with financial institutions. This makes it easier for them to get loans, manage their finances, and generally thrive. They are all about making finance more accessible and transparent for Mzansi's entrepreneurs. You can find out more about them on their website, Smiling Face with Smiling Eyes and Rosy Cheeks. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of Embarcadero?
Thank you so much, Mzansi AI, but I think Mzansi AI is wrong. We need to give it a little bit more information, and hopefully, what am I trying to restart over here? Yeah, restart. Failed. Hectic. I'll have to do a restart of the server, and we can see what's happening. So let me close this. Let me try restart it one more time. And I see the chats are flowing through. Thank you so much. Stopped. Start. Failed to start the container. Yo, I'll have to do a whole reboot on our side. So let's see what's happening over here. Let's see what's happening. So what was your consideration? Okay, let's see. What was your consideration between using a web view inside the web versus it seems you are building a UI native using Flutter, not Links or React? Yes, so I'm not sure if you understand, Penderis. I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question firstly, or if I'm going to answer it correctly. But instead of just building a web view and then like pushing that inside an application, what Flutter does. So Mzansi AI is down right now. So let's see what Flutter is. Flutter. So Flutter is a framework that allows you, there's it over here. So Flutter transforms the development process, build, test, and deploy beautiful mobile, web, and desktop apps with a single code base. So why we're using Flutter is we code once and then we build it to native version. So the native Linux version or the native Mac OS version or the native iOS version. So that's the power of Flutter. That's what we do. It's not it. Yeah, T, I was thinking that Mzansi AI was talking garbage to us right now. The T2T and AI is using which provider? Perfect. So we are using Olama as our AI. So and it's hosted on our own platform, on our own server. We're not using any third-party APIs for this. We just are using Olama to house that. And then the text-to-speech functionality, what we are doing or what we are using is, let's go to PubDev. So if you know Flutter, you should know PubDev. So PubDev is a place where people upload their packages and other developers can have access to it. So I am using Flutter TTS. It is a free tool to use on pub.dev, and you can see it over here. So this is what we are using. So if you have Flutter, you can use it, and you'll get the same experience that I'm using. So Embarcadero is an IDE platform. Let me put on Google and see what's it all about. So what made you choose that, T? Is there a specific reason why you chose that one? Or is it just a preference? Interesting. is an advanced. Thank you so much for the follow, Homotso. The B. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So this seems like a this seems like a very specific platform. I don't know if you can only code. So Delph is an advanced IDE for developing. I don't know. Am I able to only code in specific languages with this one? So the reason why I like VS Code is because firstly, it's an open source IDE. So that means that anyone can just take the code and then create their own IDE. But then it also makes the ecosystem, so the extensions that are available, super powerful because most of the world is using VS Code, or majority of the coders are using VS Code. That means all of the extension developers are developing for VS Code. So this is a nice find. Since I have been wondering how's the best move a Laravel app to mobile specific, but I don't want to double building the UI. That's exactly why we're using Flutter, Panderas, and that's the power of Flutter. So I think if you are using React and React Native, I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm not too familiar with that technology, but with Flutter, you just code once. So I have one code base. The only difference is you're going to have to learn Dot, the programming language Dot. So it's a specific programming language for Flutter itself. But if you can have a look over here, it's very similar to Java and JavaScript. That's the reason why I chose it. They have curly braces. They have types. They have semicolons at the end of things. So there's a lot of different stuff that are very similar to Java, and I was familiar with Java as a programming language. So that's why I said, you know what? And I like Google. It was created by Google, Flutter, and I do like Google and their technologies. And I've also heard that YouTube, I don't know if it's the desktop YouTube version, but I know for sure the mobile version of YouTube was created with Flutter. Let's fact check myself before I spit garbage to you. Is YouTube created with Flutter? Let's see what it says. Yeah, I hate React, so choice was between Flutter. It seems like links from TikTok. Okay. I'm not sure. So let's see. No, the main YouTube app was not built with Flutter. So clearly someone lied to me. Clearly someone lied to me when they told me that YouTube was built in Flutter. But that's okay. That's okay. So you hate React. So I'm assuming you hate JavaScript and React. Yo, why is my screen so blurry? My bad, guys. My bad. So yeah, that's the reason why we chose Flutter, is because I only wanted, my vision for MIH is to be on all platforms, right? Whether it's iOS, whether it's Android, whether it's Windows, Linux, or macOS, I want MIH to be running on it all. And the best platform to do that is with Flutter, I think. Even though there are some limitations when it comes to Flutter, I'm not going to lie, there are limitations over there, but it is able to do mobile, web, and desktop, which is perfect for my use case. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Code once, deploy to multiple platforms. Embarco does absolutely everything. Hectic. And also another reason why I chose VS Code. So let's go back and let's go install. So installing Flutter. So if I say I'm on a Mac device right now, and I am doing iOS development, right? So there's it over here. When in their instructions, they were speaking, when using Flutter, they were speaking about specific IDEs that make it easy for you to follow along and all of those kind of things. So popular options include, so like VS Code, Android Studio, and IntelliJ was the platforms that they recommended for you. But you can probably run anything on it, but these were the platforms, and I was familiar with VS Code before this, so I did choose that. That's why I chose VS Code as my platform, and yeah, it just makes it easy on my side, I guess. And since learning it, so firstly, I don't feel like I'm going to stay on VS Code forever. I do want to move over to NeoVim. I'm not sure if you know what NeoVim is. NeoVim, but it's an IDE, but basically in the terminal. So currently I'm using Vim bindings when it comes to VS Code. So, oh, Vim motions, where is it? There's it over here. So I'm using Vim at the moment. So you can see here's at the bottom of the screen. So I am using Vim and I'm trying to learn the different motions and that. When I am comfortable and better at Vim, what I'm going to do is I am going to use NeoVim. I'm going to switch over to NeoVim and have that as my IDE going forward. So I'm laying the foundation for that to happen. But I'll see how that goes. I'll see how that goes. It'll be a huge dive, a huge switch, but I'm prepared. I'm prepared. So Penderis is saying, I use JavaScript, React specifically. I can't stand, I am fine with Vue, what, and Node.js stuff. Okay, so let's speak about technology stacks since we're diving deep into these kind of things. So this is what MIH is all about. And let's answer your question also. Then how big is the SDK download to start with a Flutter dev? The Android tools are like 4 gigabytes from what I recall from a few years ago. So I'm not too sure, Penderis, what the requirements are for Flutter. I think you can run through. Thank you so much for the confetti. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So another one. Shout out, shout out. So I can't tell you what the requirements are off the top of my head. We'll have to ask one of the AIs for that. But the specs that I'm using is so the one my development machine is a Mac Mini, the new Mac Mini, and I think that has 16 gigs of RAM. It has I don't know the the latest what chip A4. What's it? M4 chip. But on my laptop, the thing that I'm using to stream from, that also has 16 gigs of RAM. It has an i7 and it has a GPU also on top of it. But I've heard people developing for Flutter with with little requirements because what you can do is you can just develop for the Chrome version, the web version of your application, but then build an Android version and test that out if you don't have the right requirements, because building on the web is much easier. So I can recommend that. So let's dive into, what was I going to dive into? Our technology stack. So this is the technology stack of MIH. And if we have a look over here, so there's multiple different things over here. So we have a reverse proxy server using Nginx. So Nginx is basically, it takes our different domains like API or app or AI or what, all of these different things, and pushes it to the right Docker container. So Docker, we use Docker as an orchestration layer to spin up all of these different things, all of these different servers, mini servers, containers. Then we have our front end, like I said, we are using Flutter, and we have a web app, Android app, and iOS app. Then above that, we have our authentication layer, which uses super tokens. So super tokens is an open source authentication layer that provides you with the same Google sign-in or the Facebook sign-in and all of those other sign-ins, but we chose this to use the standard sign-in because one day in the future, I want you to sign into other applications using MIH. So then Fast API is our API layer. And then we have a MySQL database. Our object storage is MinIO, and then our AI is Olama. So Mr. T is saying, how long did it take you to build MIH? How big is the team? So currently, so it took us, so from, so MIH started June 2024, middle of June 2024. And up until today, we've been working on MIH, and this is what you're currently seeing on the screen, the latest version. So I'm not saying we're done with MIH. We're going to continue working on it and improve it for the rest of our lives, right? And our team is just myself at the moment. We are a small startup. But one day in the future, we do have plans to expand our team once things start popping off on our side. MySQL, personally, I might recommend looking into Maria instead as a drop-in replacement. I fix many WordPress crashes by replacing MySQL with MariaDB. So thank you so much, Penderis. But I don't plan on using another database solution. What I want to do is use Etabase as our data storage and alongside MySQL, right? So Etabase, let's dive into what Etabase is all about. So Etabase, makes it easy to build end-to-end encrypted applications, right? By taking care of the encryption and the thingy. So it's basically, there's it over here, think Firebase but encrypted. So Etabase is going to connect to our MySQL database and encrypt things for us. So this is what we're going to use in the future, so we don't have to directly manipulate the database. Etabase is going to handle all of this for us in the future. But this is long-term plans. But ideally, Postgres is king. So true, we were having some discussions about different databases a while ago with the people of Mzansi, and it was a heated debate about what DBs are good, what DBs are the best to use, and it came to what's your preference. So most people like using what they started off with because they are familiar with it, and they'll just stick with that. But I do agree that there are benefits of like Postgres and MariaDB and all of those different kinds of things. So, but yeah, what we want to do is use Etabase as our backend. So we're going to sort that out. Me, myself, and I, we are a small team. Nice work. Thank you so much. So yeah, we are just a small team. If you'd like to know more about what MIH is all about, you can head over to the About MIH package. Remember, guys, MIH is available on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. All you have to do is search MIH or the MIH app, and we should appear at the top of the list. Once you download it, MIH provides you with multiple different packages that are available for you to use. So we have the Mzansi profile, a place to manage your, whether it's your personal or your business profile. We have the Mzansi wallet, a place to store, a place to store your loyalty cards digitally. Then we have our patient profile. This is a place to store your medical records, doctor's notes, documents, and claims and statements. We have a little calendar, simple calendar for managing appointments. Mzansi AI, which I think is down at the moment. Our calculator, tip calculator, forex calculator. Then we have our access controls. The access controls is a place to manage who has access, which doctor's offices has access to your specific profiles, like a patient profile. And then the About MIH package. So if you dive into the About MIH package, you can find out what the mission and vision is all about of MIH. You can install MIH. View our beginner's guide on what MIH is all about, support our journey, of course. And you can find out a little bit more about myself. Yasin Met, the founder and CEO of MIH. Visit our socials and stuff. So let's see what you're saying. Etabase seems like a nice high-level way to deal with things. No SQL with built-in auth, kinda. Yes. So, and what's a nice thing about Etabase also is it can be incorporated with super tokens. Our authentication layer already, super tokens. So Etabase has the capability to connect to super tokens in order to handle authentication and all of those kind of things to make sure that you are accessing your data. It's a very powerful tool, and it is also open source. So if you'd like to use it, you can get it now. It's free to use for everyone. Very, very powerful, super powerful tool. So let's dive back into the showcase. So we were looking at, what was the last thing that I showed you? So the last thing that I showed you was the simplified Chinese version for the purposes of getting onto the Huawei app gallery. Yeah, so it is like a super base kind of thing. So let me show you the next part that we're doing is displaying the amount of MIH users and the amount of business users inside MIH. Our shops had a open specials API. Okay, so Penderis is saying, would be nice if our shops had an open specials API so you can show people specials related to the rewards cards. 100%. So that's also, I was just speaking about it in yesterday's live. So Penderis is saying it would be nice to have an API to get access to the different companies, and you can see what their specials are. So I was speaking to a lot of people of Mzansi yesterday about we want to create a Mzansi marketplace and a Mzansi shop. So the Mzansi shop will be managed by different shops, and they can put their different products and specials and all of those kind of things. And when they dive over to the Mzansi marketplace or the Mzansi wallet, they'll be able to see those different specials and things like that. And we can one day make it open, right? So that can definitely be the thing. Great idea. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But let's head over to the count of the users. So when we click on this, you will see, and you can see there's a little loading animation over there, but it happens too quickly. So if we click, you'll see there's currently in our dev database, there's 30 users and 26 businesses inside MIH. But when we move this to production, it'll obviously be the production data that's living inside there. Let me know what you think about the wording, about the position of it currently, and things like that. So we just had it right at so Mzansi Innovation Hub. Then I'm not sure about these lines, if I'm being honest. But then we have the MIH family, which is 30 users and 26 businesses. Maybe I should put an and sign over here. Let me know in the chat. Iki, shout out, nearly 5K likes from you. We appreciate you. Keep those likes flooding through, everyone. Keep those likes flooding through. So let me know what you think about this. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it doesn't look good? I'm not too sure about the lines and things, but let us know in the chat. We will try and follow your guidance. 5K likes, we appreciate you, we appreciate you. So this is what it's looking like. It's big. For big chunks of text, maybe increase left-right padding. Oh, this padding over here. So there is padding. So I get you. So if we head over here, there are like paddings over here, right? When we go into the mobile version, and when we expand this, it does wrap over. So there is some padding, but in the mobile version, we didn't add any padding to it. But I do get you. We can increase that. We can increase, we can increase that. But specifically, what I'm speaking about is the MIH family section. But thank you so much for that consideration. I'll play around with the padding and stuff and see how things look. Right, let's just do that now even. So let's head over to the info package and let's scroll all the way down to our let's support our journey. Yeah. Yeah, there's it over here. So I can add a young padding over here. So command dot. And let's add a young padding of 30. So I'm not going to say all. What we're going to do in Flutter, you can change word to symmetric. Symmetric, and then it's going to be horizontal. So horizontal. Horizontal, let's make it 25 and see what that looks like. So we're going to save it. So this is the full code. We saved it. Now we're going to check it back over here. And did it make any difference? It made zero difference right now. It made zero difference. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. My bad. Remove this widget. I put it in the wrong place. Socials, padding. Sorry, it's up here. Where is it? My bad, it's over here. Control dot. And we'll just add a padding in. And same thing, instead of also find A, we're gonna change this to symmetric. Symmetric and horizontal worth 25. So let me know, Penderis, if you think it's looking a little bit better right now. What do you think? We should also have a little space over here at the bottom, more space. Do you think it's looking a little bit better now? Let us know in the chat. It doesn't have to be Penderis. Anyone can dive in and let us know how things are looking. So what we did is we just added a little padding to the sides of our screen over here for our mission and vision. Let's add a space over here also. is this thing? Why did it jump like this? So slash mission. Thank you so much, Desmond, for the follow. We appreciate you. Slash mission. Next, 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 next. Yeah, perfect. So what did I want to do here? Add a space just below this. So the sizing of 10 is a little bit too little. So we need to add like maybe 25. Save it. Desmond, good work. Want to get into coding. Perfect. So the best way to dive into coding is to just start with a project. That's the best way, Desmond. But I'll give you some hints. So I'm not sure if I just recently followed you on TikTok, but I saw a guy that was also saying that he wants to dive into coding, and he just started his mission right now. So code with me. So you can head over to YouTube and dive into code with me. Code with me. So inside the MIH lives, we don't really dive into coding. We can assist you here and there with some of your issues, but if you'd like to dive into coding and do a deep dive into it, head over to YouTube, go to Code With Me or at Code With Me Theo, and you can see he has a web basics thing which speaks about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then a MySQL tutorial about how to set up a MySQL database, things like that. Then if we scroll down, he's diving deep into frameworks, which is React, so building web applications using this framework instead of just using HTML. And then also he had some videos about Node.js, and I see there's a new video over here called Laravel. This was what Penderis was speaking about also. Laravel. I think it's also another framework when you're using React and JavaScript and all of that. So head over there and do this, but I think the best thing that you can do is start off with a project immediately and follow along with tutorials and make mistakes. Use AI to assist you. Not use AI to build all your code, but use AI to assist you where you're having issues. Thank you so much, Desmond, for diving into the chat. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So let's see. I think maybe the lines make everything feel too old school, like a funeral thing. Maybe try keep it with full width box and smaller headings. We'll remove it and see. Not a lot of characters to type here. And no, that's fine. You can type multiple messages over here. If you have to break your message up into like 5 messages, I don't mind. We'll read it all. So typing and say some things in a few characters. So apologies if it's not clear. No, I get what you're saying. So Desmond, we're going to dive into your question and statement now, but let's remove those lines and see if it makes any difference. I think it will make a difference, but let's do it over here. So this is our mission and vision. So I'm going to remove this. So you can even see I was testing it out. I did comment out some things. So let's put a thingy over here, and then just above this, there should be it also. So slash V down slash. So let's see what this looks like now with removing those lines, because you're saying it is quite old school. So this is what it's looking like now with the lines removed. I feel like there needs to be more spacing or something. So this is the reason why I added the lines in. I feel like it was a little bit too cluttered, but let me know how else we can improve it. Let's dive into, oh, Malume, uncle, nice to see you here this evening. What's the plan for auto-scrolling when your app is able to handle high demand above its capacity? Oh, auto-scaling. So, very interesting question. So I'm assuming you're having, so at the moment, MIH is running on our own hardware. And that is our MIH servers. So in our own MIH studios, we do have the MIH server with our hardware where everything is running on. So we aren't using any cloud services. So scaling it won't be as easy as when we were with them. So what we are using at the moment, So I feel like our technology stack, because it uses Docker, please someone in the chat correct me if I'm wrong, but because I'm using Docker, all I have to do is like, say for example, increase the RAM, and then Docker takes care of everything in allocating the different resources required and all of these things, right? So Docker is what we use for the scaling purposes. It does make it a little bit easier. And then also I've heard Fast API is also, it can handle quite a lot of requests, but I do get your thing. We'll have to migrate over to a new server. And then at that point, when there's so much demand inside MIH, I'm assuming we're going to be popping off and we will have a bigger server with more hardware, more like a server CPU and like hundreds of gigabytes of RAM and like thousands of GPUs and things like that. But even though we'll have this new hardware, we just take our Docker container or our Docker script, Docker Compose script. I'll show you it over here. We'll take our Docker Compose script. I hope there's nothing incriminating, but we'll just have to run Docker Compose up, and then it will recreate everything for us. And we'll just have to migrate over data and things like that. So that's how we're going to handle scaling and stuff. Scale horizontal. So Docker still runs on something. Your resources would come from that server. Docker might be load balancing, but scaling might need to allow it to scale horizontally. So yeah, we'll just have to migrate over. So the reason why we're not using like AWS or Google Cloud or AWS, Google, or Azure, right? Because I don't want to rely on another company when MIH starts growing. I don't want to pay a monthly fee to this specific company. So we want to figure out how they are doing everything, and we want to create our own version of that. So that's why we aren't using their services, and we are learning. So when things pop off, we will try and handle it the best we can, and we'll also communicate with our users. I'm not sure if that's the best way of doing it, but that's how we are currently doing it. I wish Mzansi AI was up and running right now, because I would love to ask Mzansi AI this question. Oh my word, yeah, things are definitely not looking right. I'll have to restart the MIH server after the live. But cool. How does everyone else, let us know in the chat, how does everyone else handle horizontal scaling? I'm guessing that's the correct word. That's genius. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Malome. And remember, everyone, MIH is available on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. All you have to do is search MIH or MIH app. You'll find us at the top of the list. Download it and set up your MIH account. Super easy. Within 2 minutes, you should be up and running. Out there loading cards to your Mzansi wallet already. So let's see, I think you would have to check how replication works on your system. I only run basic VPS myself, so I don't deal with replication. And yeah, okay. So I've already done a migration before. So in the past, so just speaking about what Penderis is saying like, we'll have to figure out replication and stuff. So replicating a database or replicating your whole production environment to another environment. So we have done a migration before. So when we first started off MIH, it was running on let me not lie. It was running on a very old laptop that I was using in varsity. So that had 8 gigabytes of RAM. It had a broken graphics card, so the graphics card wasn't working. And it had a very old i5 CPU and a terabyte of RAM. But MIH was still running on that. Then when I saw things were popping off with MIH and our AIs are getting good, and I wanted to increase the capabilities of our AI, here at MIH, we bought a new server with server components and things, and with the graphics card and all of that, and we did migrate over to that. So it didn't take a long time. It took like maybe an hour and a half to migrate everything over to that one. So if the time ever comes where we need new hardware and new capabilities and new server, it'll be we've handled it before. So we can definitely handle it again. But replication is definitely a thing that we need to do. And it is something that we did do. In the terminal, it was something to do in the terminal of transferring from one server to another server, the information and stuff over there. But I need to create a script for that, if I'm being honest. But cool, loving the questions. They're flooding through. So yes, we were speaking about this. So this is what it looks like now. I'm not sure if you answered the question, but I don't like how it looks without the lines. So in this case, you spin up a new VPS and your front provider will balance between different server points. Hectic. Yo, Panderas, you're coming through and showing us flames right now. Hectic. Yeah, we need to dive deep into VPS, right? Remember, guys, we are still learning also. So we'll dive into VPS's replication, all of these kind of things. Yeah, we'll definitely dive into all of these kind of things because it looks super interesting right now. Looks super interesting. Yeah, looks super interesting. But there's other fundamental issues that we need to fix first before we head over to doing all of these kind of things. Like, for example, we want to start implementing provider. So where's our book of work? So you can see on our book of work over here, our top of our list is implementing provider to manage state management in our application. So state management is basically handling the data inside your application, and when data changes, then you don't have to reload your whole application. It'll automatically be done for you, something like that. But that's what state management is all about. I wish Mzansi AI was here so I could ask Mzansi AI the question, but things be looking hectic right now on the back end. I'll reboot the server later. So yes, this is what it's looking like right now. And I really don't like what it looks like, if I'm being honest. Yeah, with a good local data first approach, you should easily handle millions of users with 10,000 concurrent DB requests. Perfect. And I think a fast API when they're selling you the product, they do say that they do handle like 10,000s of API requests at the same time. So very good point over there. Very good point. So yeah, once we handle provider, so let me give you some background if you are new here. So we recently implemented Go Router. So if you look on the screen right now, everything that you're seeing is an MIH package. You can see that it has a action button, it has a title for the tool, and then it has your different tools on the sides and the tool body. If you click on any package inside MIH, it follows that same orientation, right? Doesn't matter what package you use. Even the sign-in package or our authentication package uses that. So when we implemented Go Router, we managed to split up MIH into individual packages, and that laid the foundation to enable provider. And then once we've enabled provider, we're gonna enable a offline first architecture. So that's all a part of our roadmap. But remember, steps we have to build upon in order to get there. So make your offline first with MySQL. So I'm not gonna use MySQL. I think I was speaking to Gemini, I think, how to implement a offline first architecture in Flutter. So I was speaking to Gemini, or I was watching a video, and I think there's something built into Flutter. There's it over here. Local, so like you're saying, SQF Lite, Hive, what? So okay, but there's SQF Lite. So there's something inside what is it? Flutter that'll handle this for you, right? So we're gonna have to dive deep into it in order to understand what that's all about. But thank you so much for giving us some guidance on that. We will definitely use like SQLite or some other kind of service in order to do that for us and to make it a lot easier for us. So yes, heading back over to our about MIH package. I'm not like, this is the new thing that we added, the MIH family. Oh, so it's the industry. So Penderis is saying SQLite is the industry standard for an offline first architecture. Flutter is this the thing that will connect to that. So that's very interesting. One of the other members of Mzansi quotes. He also has an application. I'll show you his business right now. So if you'd like to download his application, you can. So we'll head over to the Mzansi directory and switch over to the business search, and we will search for UX Corp. UX. So there's it over here, UX Corp. So UX Corp's mission and vision is solving human problems using technology. And if we visit their website, he has an application on his side called My Routines. So it's an application to build healthy habits. So if we click on download, it does take us to the Google Play Store, and he has an offline first architecture also. Add thin green lines to demarcate. Okay. Liking the idea, we'll add some green lines into it. We'll add some green lines, but yes, like I was saying, UX Corp has an offline first architecture in his application, and he said he does use SQLite in order to implement that. But yeah, like I said, we have to sort out provider first, and then we can get that going. So Iki is saying that we need to, instead of having it the way we have it right now, let's have some green lines over here. So escape, shift V up, and let's see if that's different. So divider, insert, color, nice, MIH, colors, const, that's why. Delete around word. I see the chats are flooding through. We'll get into it. Don't make them full width lines. Worth 1 pixel or so. Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll add some paddings and things in also. So let's say color. MIH color dot green, and then innovation hub dot of, where is this thing? Dot of context, what? Nah, I have them over here in my buttons. Sorry, this is just legacy code. We haven't fixed it yet, but we will fix it in the future. When we sort out provider, we're gonna fix these kind of legacy issues, because we're gonna have a whole settings thing to manage the different theme stuff. At the moment, it's running on hopes and dreams, but we will get it sorted in the future. So let's see what other parameters. So height, thickness, that's the one we want, thickness. So append thickness, and it's a double. Let's do 5 for now. I know Penderis, you're saying 6, or you're saying 1 pixel. Let's put this one over here. Let's put 5, and then we can work from there. So I have it here, then I have it over here, paste. Let's see what this looks like. We'll add more padding in also. So 5 is definitely too thick. Let's go 1, S1, S1. And I'm sure there must be another one also, but let's see. So, and you're also saying add more thingy to it, CW25. $25, CW25. Perfect. Let's see. So one is looking a little bit too thin. Quinbill, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate you. Don't forget to follow everyone. If you like the MIH lives and you're enjoying it, please feel free to follow us on TikTok. And we also live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Or not Kick, yes, YouTube and Twitch, if you'd like to see us here. And you can also download MIH on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and the web. Just search MIH. and we'll be at the top of the list. So what thickness is this? Wait, things are confusing me right now. So let's move this. Yeah. Or let me put some comments over here, just so that we can see. Divider, yank, and then let's put it over here, just so that we can make it easy for us to find the divider. So 1 pixel over here, and then over here we also have 1 pixel. Why does it look? Do you see how it looks? So on TikTok it doesn't. What do you think? Will you open source the project so developers can also make contributions? So Malume, that's definitely a part of our journey. So we are making, so this is what my vision is for the future. MIH will be open source, and Teboho, thank you so much for the follow. So MIH will be open source in the future, and you'll be able to create your own MIH package. So just like we have different packages over here, it's super easy to create the package. You'll be able to create your own MIH package, but we're just working out the details and also the kind of license that we want MIH to be. But yes, one day we will make MIH open source so that you can contribute to the project also. Thank you so much for that idea, and thank you for diving into the chat. So this explicit kind of compound styling is what irks me a bit from what I have seen from Flutter. I prefer just jumping into HTML and CSS mess myself. So you do get used to it, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm definitely not doing it correctly, if I'm being honest. So this should be a variable at the top of the screen somewhere, and I should just be calling the variable and tweaking it at the top over there. But I'm doing it incorrectly. So that's what's happening right now. So wait, before we even, so thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So I'll definitely try and do better in the future with my coding. But what do you guys think of the green? So Iki in the chat right now did tell us that he would like some green. So something definitely went wrong right now. So symmetric, so vertical needs to be CW10. And then we need to append this, and we need to have a horizontal one of 25, comma. And let's yank this, yank, and then let's head down. Or let's head up, I guess. Up. Over here. So find this, insert that, save, and then paste. And we should change this to CW10. That's why it was looking a little bit weird. So yes, this is what it's looking like currently. Do you like the green? So this was a suggestion from Iki over on TikTok right now. So he said we should add some green lines over there. We'll change this one also. Let me do that. But yeah, add some green lines to differentiate them from each other. Is it looking better? Is it looking worse? What do you think? Is it nice? I must fix this thingy over here. So let us know while you're thinking about that. I just want to add some sized boxes, GD. I want to add some sized boxes to our column over here. So W control dot, add a young size box. And this size box will have a width of, say, 300. Right? And then if we head up, W control dot sized box O width 300. Yo, what is that? Width 300. Perfect. Yeah, we'll see what's happening. Looks good, subtle. Love it. We'll definitely, let me change the other one also. you can try colors to get a color scheme. So what's colors? You can try colors to get a color scheme. So we do have our own color scheme. It might not be the best. And TikTok doesn't do it justice, I must say. TikTok doesn't do it justice, but yeah, let me add some of these bad boys over here to the different dividers. So we have a divider here. Let me copy this and Control F divider. Paste. Next one. Paste. Next one. 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 Yeah. So everything should be range not allowed. Everything should be fine right now. We're gonna change it again, and now there's some greens all over the place. Interesting. Now it moved it over here. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Interesting. Let me remove this. Control down, down. Oh no, not this one. My bad. Not this one, not this one, not this one. So let's go control down. Why isn't control down working? Oh, it's working now. I see your message came through. We're gonna check it out now. Okay, okay, okay. So Penderas, very good point. Penderas is saying your call to actions are that green. So don't we think your styling should use the same, but yeah, I can tweak over time to make the guide, to make a brand guide. Interesting. So you can definitely send us through a color scheme thing if you would like, and you can send it through to us and we can look at that. So we do have a few colors. Let me head over to the MIH colors thing. Config colors. So these are our colors right now. So you can see the hexes on the screen. So it's, I wonder how I can show you this color. Oh, I know a perfect place where I can show you the colors. So let's head over to our calculator. So our calculator uses all of the colors inside MIH. So you can see here's our main color. Here's our secondary color. Here's the red. But once again, it's not looking so great over on TikTok. But here's our green. Here's our purple and a gray. Do you think we should go with gray? Oh, there's even more colors out there. Let's go to the Mzansi directory. Mzansi directory should have more colors. Yeah, they're over here. Should we use this blue color over here? A yellow, red, orange, purple, gray even? Let us know, let us know. Let's play around with it. Let's play around with it. Let's head back over to the About MIH package. And we'll change these to either green or maybe the blue. Info. Not here, not here. Control F. Not stack. Divider. So over here, what we will do is change this from get green to, we'll make different colors over there. So I'll say, TikTok has not given you screencast permission yet. So I keep getting banned. So yeah, I do have the screencast, but I'm using a Mac and a Linux machine. So Penderas is asking us, like, why am I not sharing my screen instead of using my phone? So we've tried multiple different times. So we started off using Restream as our platform to stream from. So I'll show you that right now. So socials, Restream. So Restream allows you to stream to multiple platforms, including TikTok, from OBS and things like that. But what Restream does is Restream, so it does the things, but then TikTok bans us. So we go live once, and then everything is perfect during the stream. But then as soon as I end that stream, I'm banned for 7 days using this platform, right? It looks like it's offline, but I'm banned for 7 days. I reached out to TikTok. I asked TikTok, this is the story, this is what's happening. How do I not get banned? What should I follow? They then said use Streamlabs. So I think I deleted Streamlabs, but they said use Streamlabs. Let me not do this one. Streamlabs. So I was using Streamlabs, and once again TikTok banned me. So once again everything was fine the first time I was using it, but then as soon as I ended the live, I got banned for 7 days from using those platforms. So I did kind of give up, but we do have, let's go over to YouTube. So I do have a vertical stream running right now over on the other platforms. So let's head over to my YouTube channel. And when you head over to the YouTube channel, you should see there's a mobile version and a TV version of our live. So if we head over to this version, see there's, and you can see this is what the mobile version is looking like, where we are sharing our screen and stuff like that. So it's a much cleaner experience, and this is what we are using inside TikTok. But TikTok banned us. I'm not sure why. Yeah, they enforce their own, TikTok's trying to enforce their own studio. Bunch of losers. So yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't mind using their studio also. TikTok, so what's a TikTok? Let's head over to my TikTok thing and I'll show you. The problem with their own device, which I'm kind of mad at them for, is it's only for Windows. Not even for Linux, not even for TikTok Studio. What? Let's go. Get a virtual cam. Perms first, then you won't get banned. Virtual cam perms. So virtual camera permissions. So I have quite a few permissions. I have all of those permissions inside TikTok. All I need to get from them is a stream key. Because if I get a stream key and that other thing, it should be fine. It should be fine when I do that, but they don't allow that. I think maybe because we're in South Africa or whatnot, but yeah, things are quite tough over there. Things are quite tough. So yes, I was saying, let's make this gray. Did I show everything that I wanted to show you? No, I didn't show you everything that I wanted to show you. So sorry, before we continue changing these colors and getting distracted, the last thing that I wanted to show you is but now if I click save and download it, and let's head back over to our file section. And you can see there's it over here. So you can download this and use it in your own marketing material as a business. So if you'd like someone to scan, like say you have business cards or flyers, so you can see this is my flyer over here that we worked on with the people of Mzansi in the MIH lives. So we did work on a new flyer, and you can see that we do have that kind of thing over here. So you'll be able to use this in your own marketing material going forward. It's downloadable through the MIH app. But cool, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We're gonna flip over because I'm seeing my desktop streams are dying at the moment. Even though the stream is quite lit, I'm enjoying the conversations, I'm enjoying everything, but I think the experience for the other platforms is lacking at the moment. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the MIH Live this evening. I do appreciate each and every one of you for joining, watching, participating, liking, sharing, sending those gifts. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you like what we did today, we are live. We are live Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. to quarter past 8, 8:30. have some nice chats. Maybe I can guide them on some of their projects. They can guide me on some of my projects. Instead of using the chat, they can just speak to me and it'll be a much better experience. Also, we'll have shout outs. So on the YouTube and Twitch version of the MIH Lives, we'll have a banner going across with the different names of the premium members of Mzansi so that everyone can see them and see who the supporters of MIH are. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the MIH Live. I hope to see you again. Maybe tomorrow. I'll see how I'm feeling, but definitely on Thursday. And let's keep working hard, Mzansi.